Hey everybody, welcome to the second Fireside chat. And I have Sophie with me today.
Hello, everybody.
And today I'm going to talk about something I've actually found very interesting analog horror.
Which
So,
I know nothing about, so this will be interesting for me.
so we all know how Hollywood horror is kind of going. It has a formula, it's kind of done and dull at this point, unless somebody does something real crazy. But even then, they're not really able to anymore. Like,
Yeah,
you're
also
not going to
sometimes
get
they're
like
just sort of predictable.
yeah, you're not going to get like an original Friday the 13th or Halloween kind of thing anymore. Everything's kind of on the safer side. No one's going out and really experimenting, except like
Yeah.
indie developers.
Yeah, part 3, part 5, part 16, remake, spin-off, prequel
Yeah, I
of
think
the
there's
same
like
IP.
12 Friday the 13th movies, and four of
Oh my
those are
goodness.
after the final chapter,
Final chapter, part 1.
pretty much, yeah. So instead of that, I've actually been looking at series on YouTube, is where a lot of these are, and they're usually done by a small team or like one or two people. And these are called analog horror. They're usually done in series. Of course, some people put together like a whole video. One that I enjoyed is called The Storm of 83, and it's by Linkara, Top the Fourth Wall.
Oh,
And his whole thing is, it's a town that's about to be hit by a snowstorm. And it turns out that there's something in the snow that is not only killing people, but mimicking their voices and making
oh, like,
replicas of them.
that's creepy because that's actually like a real phenomenon that can happen, right? Like in what was it? I
The
may not
thing.
mimic voices, no, but like the wind, there's like a pitch
Oh,
that it
infrasound.
does. Yeah, yeah, that's not mimicking, but it's like that it makes you
Yeah, it drives you a
scared,
little
like
bit
really
crazy.
scared. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the theories of Dyatlov Pass, actually, is
Yes.
they were affected by infrasound.
Yep.
And
It
it's
still
it's
doesn't
a
account for
lower.
some of the injuries.
Well, the idea is it's what caused them to, rush out of the tent and
Yeah.
pretty much just kind of go out there in very, very little clothing, considering where they were and what they should have been doing. But
Yep.
that's just one of like 1,000 different theories for the Dyatlov Pass incident. But this one is so throughout it you are following a detective who's all his stuff are notes left on micro cassette tapes, and a news station that keeps having their signal interrupted because they're on a very low power transmitter. It's like they can only really broadcast to the town,
Yeah.
and it keeps being overridden by something, and it putting in material that's not really great for TV. Like it's putting in movies and stuff like that. It's interrupting broadcasts, and what it turns out is it's an organism that lives in the snow. They're microscopic organisms that start like being talked to by a scientist who's trying to figure out like what are these things, how intelligent are they, and eventually
What?
they break out and actually cause this snowstorm because they can essentially bind to water droplets and make snow, and they feed off high wave band frequencies. So they
What's
can.
that? What's that?
That is the transmission for television, radio,
Ah, so basically they're OP basically.
a little bit, but they're also they're snow. They're
Yeah,
only
there's
really
certain
dangerous
places
in a
they can't
super large
go.
group or if you're alone.
Yeah, and if it's cold.
Well, it is cold. It's a literal storm already incoming. They're just using that as a cover.
Oh no, no, yeah, I mean like it won't propagate through the whole world. I mean,
No, it'll melt by spring. But it's a
see,
fun little
wait,
series to
winter
see.
for the no, winter no, summer for the win.
Yeah, it's a fun little
Well,
series to see. Linkara created this whole thing, and there's handheld video, and you get kind of staticky interruptions and all this crazy stuff at town hall meetings. And if you read the news ticker at the bottom, it'll say different things. Like
what's the name of it?
this is the Storm of '83.
The Storm of 83. There you go. The Storm 83. So why do they call it analog? Because when I think
It's
analog
based
is
off analog
mhm.
technologies, so like video, cassette tapes, stuff like that. Older technology that wasn't like strictly digitalized. It can still be interrupted, like tape noise and stuff like that. Or like if it gets like it's interrupted and it'll flash another thing on the screen.
So they hold
Or
on, because I'm
sometimes a
trying.
lot of them like to put in little mysteries. Like they'll actually like put YouTube links or scrambled messages that you have to decipher. Like some people get really, really deep into this kind of thing, and they make some amazing series out of it.
That's
They're
cool.
also
Is that
called ARGs, which are
AR?
augmented reality games.
I watched not necessarily horror, but there was a channel that I watched that was just about anything, and they started having like these mysteries. And if you have common sense, you know that it's not real, right? But a lot of people were thinking it was real, and it was like mysteries, yeah, and that was like people spying on them, and it was really well done. I think that's one like similar to what you're talking about, like the
Well, like,
analog series.
have you ever heard of Marble Hornets?
No.
Okay, it was a big thing a couple of years ago. It was like a Slender Man takeoff,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, the
they had this
Slenderman
whole
thing, yeah, yeah.
series where they're investigating it, and one of them gets taken over by it, and it's all done on handheld recording.
Those are really creepy. I mean, I don't watch too much horror, 'cause I don't really like it that much, but
Well, not
some
all of
of
them are
the
horror. Some of them are like thriller. Some of them are based on video games or movies. Like there's a bunch of Jurassic Park ones
oh, that sounds
that are
cool.
all like, oh, I got my plane went down on this island that has a shut down theme park, and now there's dinosaurs chasing me. Or one of them that I found really interesting was they did an actual like behind the scenes analog horror for Jurassic Park, where the animatronic T Rex was its teeth was made of some kind of like super powerful metal that they didn't really know what it was, and it ended up killing a couple of the crew because of how strong this stuff was, and it essentially got loose.
Yeah. So,
But the whole thing, it looks like genuine behind the scenes action and pictures. Like if you didn't know it was fake, a lot of people would probably be fooled by it.
damn. Yeah, that's what I was I'm sorry. I'm trying to find this one that I'm talking about, because it's like the only thing that I this one that I can like kind of compare to what you're explaining, the type of content, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. So this was the one that you mentioned, the Storm of '83, right?
Yes.
Is
By
it on
Linkara.
YouTube?
Yep. The entire thing
Lin
is on YouTube as one video.
Lin Hara?
Yeah, it's like an hour long.
Yeah, because I'm
And
looking for it because
funnily enough, you
I
can
put it
actually
and I
buy
have
a
like,
DVD of it.
oh, that's cool. No, I'm asking because I'm trying to look for it and I get like actual stuff. You might have to pass me the link. I'm not
Well,
finding
I
it.
also
It's all
might
real
be
stuff.
mispronouncing it. Let me look here. Because a couple of the channels I recommend, like, if you don't want to go into it yourself, you don't want to do, like, all the work of trying to figure out everything, a lot of channels actually do, like, analysis or full series talking about these other series. Like, Wendigoon has a couple. He's talked about a couple of these.
I haven't seen Wendigo for a long, 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 long time.
Yeah, one of the ones he did recently was it wasn't an analog horror, it was an analog mystery, and it was called Angel Hair. Okay, it's called The
Oh,
Winter of '83.
oh, the winter.
Yeah, Winter of '83. And one of the
Ah,
people I recommend that
Linkara.
covers
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
is Immortal Marcus. Uh,
Oh yeah, I
Immortal
had seen
Marcus.
that one, but since it wasn't like the name you said, I ignored it. All right, I got it here. I might watch it. That
Yeah,
looks
it was
cool.
made as an April Fool's analog series by Linkara.
Oh, did anybody fall for it?
Ah, nah, it was by Linkara. Everyone's already well used to his stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's literally on Linkara's channel.
Yeah, but if somebody doesn't know, maybe people are passing around clips.
Well, it also says full movie, so.
Ah, dang it.
But yeah, Immortal Marcus is one of the guys that does a full review of these kind of things. Like he goes video by video during the series and talks about each one and what they do in it. Like he also goes in like trying to figure out the mystery for people. Another one is Nexpo, who does a lot of
Next.
stuff like that as well. And one of my favorites that Nexpo did was a full, I don't know what you'll call it. It's not strictly an analysis, but it's he goes over the entire series and even goes into the game that the guys who made it made, and that's called Gemini Home Entertainment.
Gemini Home Entertainment.
Yeah,
And
that's an
what's that one
entire horror.
about?
That's an entire series.
Complete thing. Oh, man.
I if you don't want to watch the entire thing, I definitely recommend watching Nexpo's video on it. It's like 2.5 hours long, but he goes in depth and in detail into everything, including theories and all kinds of stuff about like what these things are. And it starts out like a lot of the stuff starts out like kind of normal. Like the first video is about nature and animals. And it goes through, you have like burrowing owls, you have all these crazy little animals. And then it goes wood crawlers. Territory everywhere. And essentially what these things do is they get inside people's houses and kill the occupants and then take them over.
That's creepy.
Yeah, but all you see in the video is like one clawed leg and that's it. And that's where the mystery
See,
starts. Is like, what are these things? What do they do?
see that's what I miss about like a little bit about like the modern kaiju films, because they or like kind of horror films, but maybe more fantastical, right? Is
Yeah,
that they show you absolutely everything, so there's not
there's
that
no
feeling.
mystery.
Yeah, but I remember like just watching,
Well, it's
the
a
first
delicate
Jurassic Park.
balance. Like Godzilla 2014 was, in my opinion, probably one of the worst Godzilla films because they didn't show anything. It's like as
I
soon as
love
the
that
big fight
one.
was about to start, we focus back on the humans. It's like I don't care about the
But
humans. I'm watching a Godzilla film to watch Godzilla wreck shit.
yeah,
I'm not here for the humans. I don't care about the humans. I'm here for Godzilla.
yeah. But I liked 2014. No, but I mean like Jurassic Park, right? The first one, like
Yeah,
it's hidden, right? And then the
it's
new
hidden for the most
ones,
part because it's
you
like the T Rex one is the
until the
best.
end.
Well, the
Uh-huh.
T Rex one's like halfway through the film, but it's like you see at the beginning of it is you hear the stomping, you see the water in the glass rippling,
Uh-huh.
then you hear the roar, and then you see it. It's a build up.
Yeah,
It's a build up of
exactly. And
suspense.
yeah, now it's all like dinosaurs in one go. It's like, yeah, but I know it's there.
Yeah, Gemini Home Entertainment is probably one of my favorites just because there's so much to it that's actually kind of fun to look at. Like they have a whole thing of like a space probe called Voyager going out and photographing Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and then it comes to one called the Iris. Like it's mutating Neptune
Yeah, and
and
transmitting
using that
things
as
from
a
the
lens to transmit its signals out.
damn. Well, people see.
And then they have it's like they talk at the beginning, it's like this is our solar system kind of thing, and then at the end it's like this is the Voyager probe we sent out, and it goes by like Jupiter's fine, but all of its moons and Saturn's moons are starting to combine together in this like fleshy substance. It looks like the moons are like literally being absorbed into each other.
Yes.
And then as it goes through, it's like, okay, so here's what we know: Jupiter is fine, Saturn and all of its moons are being screwed up. Oh yeah, and Neptune is fucking missing.
Yeah. Where's Neptune?
Apparently gone.
Oh, but see, like this is what annoys me about current Hollywood, because there are creative people, and they're only, I don't know, like hiring people that are remaking stuff and remaking it
Yeah, they
badly.
want safe. They
Yeah,
want
but
things they
Safe is
know
not getting
people
them
will come and see.
anywhere.
And that's not fun. That's
Yeah.
why I like analog horror, because a lot of the stuff is crazy. Like another one is called Arcadia, and it takes place in Alaska. And the whole thing is, scientists have created a machine that allows you to talk between dimensions.
And oh,
So they're sending signals out to another dimension, and it's like, hey, show us what Earth is like in your dimension. And then, it's
now
like, it's kind of like ours. There's a couple little differences, but it's essentially the same Earth. And then it turns out there's another one that's like a dead Earth, and it starts trying to hijack into that signal. And by
eh,
doing that, it's literally invading the planet.
so these types, because analog horror is just for horror, but all of these, what would their name be for like all of these stories
It
made by
literally is just
people?
collectively as analog horror.
Ah, okay.
And there is a
So
lot. Like one of the first ones I think most people look at is called Local 58, which is, it's a television station. It just shows regular broadcasting. But the broadcasting gets interrupted or it doesn't quite seem right.
Yeah, something's off.
Yeah, something is off, and then it kind of gets more into it from there.
Yeah, it's a build up.
Yeah, but it's like
I think
it acts like it's just a normal television station. There's no monsters, there's no big explosive stuff. It's just like there's something really wrong about this, and I'm not sure what at the very beginning.
yeah,
And
you
then if
gotta
you catch
stay
some of
there.
the flashes in between signal interruptions and cheap TV static, you get more information. So it rewards you for looking at things and trying to looking deeper into things.
For sticking also. Sticking around.
Yeah, for sticking around and you get rewarded for it. Because it's like, hey, I want to know more about this. Well, if you look a little closer, you can find some more about it.
Who
It's like
knows? Maybe you
regular.
discover the mystery.
Exactly. So it's like these kind of things just work really well for me because it's not normal. It's not safe. It's people just going out and exploring, hey, what's this weird idea I have? I don't have a lot of money. I'm just going to make something that looks like it came from an old TV show or something and just go from there.
Now, I imagine, because again, this story that I followed, they eventually had to like say like, guys, come on, like we didn't think we had to put a disclaimer here, like this is not real.
Yeah, a lot of people do stuff like that. And I don't really know why. But yeah, if you just look
Well,
up analog horror, there's a lot of different kinds. Like I'm sure if you just look it up and look through some of them, you'll find one that suits you. You'll find one that you find interesting.
I might watch this Winter of '83 one,
It's a fun one.
and if it gets too scary, I'll blame you.
Well, the fun thing is like they never actively show anything. It's all like distorted news reports from City Hall and video or cassette tape recordings.
Yeah, because I like those like handheld kind of
Like I
stuff,
will say, the very first video is kind of
thrillers.
corny. Like it's one of those things that's like, yeah, I'm not really sure this is really going to be something I'm interested in. But as you go further, like to the
It's
second and
like,
third videos in
oh,
the series, it gets a lot better. The first one was just kind of like a trailer kind of thing.
yeah, just testing out the waters, probably.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of stuff like that. Like I said, Gemini Home Entertainment has individual videos and a game. Like it features a commercial for a game called Lethal Omens that you can go out and get. It's literally a free game that these guys made specifically for their series. And if you play
That's
the game, you can unlock more secrets.
that's awesome. Yeah, no, people see. I'm glad to know that because there is creativity in the world. People are creative, but we're being kept from it.
Yeah. Another good one is called Doctor Nowhere. It's kind of like an SCP thing.
Nowhere.
Yeah, it's kind of a silly style. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, this is obviously pretty silly, but at the same time, some of the stuff he comes up with in it are really fun.
I think if these are the images, I don't like that. You did it.
Well, it's like that, but then you watch like them actually move their mouths, and it's like old puppet entertainment. It's like the mouths just kind of go up and down.
No puppets, no.
The Mandela Catalog is one probably more people are familiar with.
You know, I've never watched Chucky because I'm terrified of like dolls or puppets, anything like that. I don't know why. I don't know where the trauma comes from, but I cannot. I never had
It's just one
dolls.
of those things. I mean, there are even Batman ones. There are
Oh,
Batman analog horrors. There's TF2 ones,
what's TF2? Sorry.
Team Fortress 2.
Uh, I,
And one of the most fun ones I've seen is a Left 4 Dead one that takes place from the Civil Defense uh, CETA, and it's like a few years after the games take place. And like, hey, we're going through, we're kind of sweeping out these areas, making sure there's no infected, and then they discover something isn't right. There's a couple of new types of infected, and one of them is they are brutal, but they are very intelligent. And one's called the Starer. It's the first one that they explain because it has this thing where it's like CETA's showing, oh, here's what a prepared safe room looks like. Here's how to set up your safe room. So it's a way to explain, hey, why there are all these safe rooms in the game.
yeah, it's
And it's
giving you
like, hey,
background.
we're gonna give you all these supplies. Here's how to make your safe room, and then it goes to here's what a compromised safe room looks like, and it
Yeah.
shows the one from the first game. I think it takes place in the third campaign, which I can't remember the name of it at the moment. But it's like, okay, why is this safe room compromised? And then one of them is, oh, there are weapons in the safe room. The infected are still technically people. You're not allowed to shoot them for some reason. And then it
It's
has
kind of like um
Dead Rising.
not exactly right, but like the vault thing.
Yeah. It's like, oh, there's weapons in here. The water supplies and food supplies are dwindled. And then it says, there is something in here. It has been staring at you the whole time from the darkness.
Oh no!
And that turns out to be the starer, which is you don't even see. You have no idea what they're talking about until later when they reveal it was underneath the grates, staring up at the survivors from there.
Oh no, 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 no! I did not like that.
And it's like the only thing you can tell. It likes to stand completely still in the darkness and just watch people with a single glowing eye, and then it either attacks or it'll just leave on its own.
Yeah.
It's like
Watching.
as if you ignore it or something like that. It's like, yeah, it might just leave on its own. It might not care about you at all. It might just get bored and leave. And then they introduce another one called the Whisperer, which has the ability to speak, and it sits outside like safe room doors and says like, "Hey, let me in, please help me." It mimics survivors.
Yeah. Oh, and does it do anything if you answer, or
They
just
haven't
mimic?
explained that yet. It's an ongoing
Ooh,
series.
that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, it's called SIDA. Let me see what it's actually called here.
See the like SIDA?
CEDA.
CEDA. Okay.
Yeah, it's SIDA actually has a channel. Uh, Civil Emergency Defense Agency, and there are 2 seasons of this.
Man, that's crazy.
So yeah, SIDA. I definitely recommend checking out if you like Left 4 Dead and you want to see kind of like what happens later. Like they even explain, hey, here's what happened to the survivors that were picked up. The guys you play as,
Yeah.
because the military has orders to kill all carriers, all infected, pretty much everything. And then SIDA comes in and says, hey, no, don't do that. We're gonna take these guys, we're gonna train them, and we're gonna have them help us out.
And then everything goes wrong.
Well, then you kind of follow Nick for a little bit, and it turns out he's working with agency within SIDA, and the whole it just goes deeper from there. So I definitely recommend looking up analog horror if you're a horror fan, or you just want to see something different. You want to see something that somebody creative put their mind to and was like, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make a mystery. I'm gonna make a horror. I'm gonna make something to draw people in, and have a pretty much original idea, completely
Yep.
opposite of what Hollywood is doing.
Yeah, nobody breathing down their necks to what to do or anything.
Exactly.
Like
It's
this.
freedom.
Right.
And I mean, they're
Freedom.
also like they're a bunch all over the world. There's like 4 or 5 I've seen from Russia that are really good.
Yeah, I'll check out like I'll look for some thrillers or mystery.
Yeah, and
Like
even
I
if you don't like mystery, one that
no,
is
I
kind
love
of cool
mystery.
is called Angel Hair, which there is a mystery to it, but it's like a guy finds an old bunch of cassettes tape for a TV show he watched as a kid, but everything he remembers from it is different from what's on the tapes. And it turns out that the series he recorded when he was a little kid, the main character was talking to him and like responding to him and like being a friend, because it turns out she's actually the angel Gabriel.
Oh wow.
Like everyone else got this normal kid cartoon, a regular children's Christian cartoon kind of thing, and he got the angel Gabriel actually talking to him through this character, and it's actually just like really cute.
Nah, let's
So
get some
not all
wholesome stuff.
analog has to be
Yeah.
horror. If you want to look up
Yeah.
other stuff, there's all kinds of stuff there. And like I said, there are video game ones, there's movie ones, there's comic ones, and then there's a lot that are just people's general ideas, like Gemini Entertainment is probably one of the most interesting I've done. And a new one that came out, Oakburn, is a new one that Nexpo covered that was really good. It's called the Oakburn Opus, and it's like 4 videos, but it's really good. And it goes into kind of like a Greek mythology kind of thing.
Oh, I love mythology.
And it's it's really cool if people can come up to when it's like, hey, I don't have this stupid restriction of what Hollywood wants me to do, but I also don't have any money. So I can just make something on my own. It doesn't have to be amazing high budget. It can be like 20 bucks and a wrapper of gum. Like if
Yep.
you can get your hands on a camera, you can make an analog horror.
That's really interesting.
That's why I like them,
Yep.
because it's so different and crazy what people can do when you take the restraints away.
No, also I'm glad like there's like you put a name to it. I'm because I think I have seen things like this, but I didn't know there was like a group, like
Yeah, it's collectively
a
just known
category.
as analog horror. And again, a lot of the people I recommend are Nexpo, Windigoon, and Immortal Marcus. If you want just like reviews and analytical videos, stuff like that, where they go over like each individual video and talk about them, and then try and
Nice.
put the mystery together.
I will check it out definitely, especially the storm one. Looks cool.
Yeah, it is a fun one. And that'll be it for today. I'm Tobias,
I'm Toby.
and that was today's Fireside Chat. Uh, Sorry I didn't make one in December. I was sick pretty much the entire month. I still am. But hopefully we will have another one next month, and we will talk to you guys then.
Bye.